November is Youth Month, a time to highlight the incredible potential of young people who are driving progress and innovation across all sectors of society. Throughout the month, youngsters are encouraged to engage in various activities organized by the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information and its agency, the Heart NSTA Trust. One such initiative is the Pondicana program, which launched today. This aims to support at-risk and unattached youth by providing an informal space for stakeholders to connect and engage with them. We encourage young people to take part in these opportunities as they represent pathways to success. And on that note, you're watching Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Audrey Williams, and we have plenty more in store for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the news.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 15, 2024. Government will be moving to acquire 10 additional acres of land to build a micro-business park at the Morant Bay Urban Centre in St. Thomas. Chairman of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, Littleton Shirley, revealed on Wednesday that Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness had given that directive to the FCJ.
It's going to be something that you have never seen before. It's going to have farmers market. It's going to have a farm supply and equipment store. It's going to have sport bar and grill pavilion. It's going to have mini warehouses, 12 of them to facilitate small businesses.
Mr. Shirley says the micro-business park will also accommodate 30 micro-business facilities to support small businesses such as shoemakers, locksmiths and hairdressers.
What we have been instructed by this Prime Minister is to help them in acquiring their equipment, roll it over into the rent over a longer period so that small business can overcome that startup gap.
The FCJ's chairman was speaking at a stakeholder engagement session held at the site of the Morant Bay Urban Centre, which is still under construction. Prime Minister Holness says the project is a telltale sign to the world that we can help to build our country.
We're not trying to create a secluded zone where the people of St. Thomas are excluded from it. We are not trying to create a business colony. That's not what this is about. This is about creating an atmosphere where every Jamaican and everybody from St. Thomas can come and do business, can live and raise their families, can earn an income. That is what we are building here.
Meanwhile, the developments keep coming for St. Thomas, with the latest being upgrades slated for a new women's centre to be based at the Morant Bay Urban Centre. The news comes from Chairman of the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, Littleton Shirley, who was on a stakeholder tour of the centre a few days ago.
It's going to have, for the first time, a 5-bedroom dormitory so that when the young student, unfortunately, get led astray or make a liquor and get pregnant, they can go, when they leave school, they can go there, have the child, get on the educational program, get back on track, and right back where their lives will not be distorted. Mr.
Shirley also confirmed that travel service providers, Knutsford Express, would be based at the centre, which is another first for the Eastern Parish. The Ministry of Agriculture has unveiled a $30 million program to further help small poultry farmers across Jamaica recover from the challenges facing the sector. The initiative will be administered through members of parliament and involves the provision of baby chicks to farmers in both rural and urban constituencies. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green announced the intervention during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. He said the MPs could expect letters by the end of this week with details on how they can assist small poultry farmers in their areas.
We are embarking on a program to assist our poultry farmers. And we're going to provide some support directly across all constituencies so that you can help those small backyard poultry farmers rebound, especially now as they look forward to the Christmas period.
Mr. Green says this is meant to supplement the ministry's existing poultry program, which has so far distributed about 70% of a targeted 100,000 broiler chicks and layers to farmers. In addition to the poultry program, the Agriculture Minister revealed plans for a $17 million backyard and urban farming initiative.
We're going to start the application process for the distribution of 3,000 backyard farming kits targeting our urban farmers, and we're also going to be focusing on some vertical farming systems.
Over 4,400 entertainers and creatives in Jamaica now have access to free life insurance through the newly launched Jamaica Entertainers and Creatives Insurance Plan. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport signed with Guardian Life Insurance Company to administer the insurance plan. Minister Olivia Grange explains that it caters to individuals who are listed on the National Registry of Entertainment and Creative Industries Practitioners, for which more creatives are being urged to register online or at the ministry's office.
In this phase one of the insurance, we will cover free of cost to you death benefit up to $500,000 under group life and personal accident. Personal accident up to $500,000 and 1 to 100% of death benefit depending on the injury. The plan covers registered persons from 6 to 75 Gillian with the option to extend to 99 years old.
The Culture and Entertainment Minister assures that the group health insurance will be available in January of 2025.
This is comprehensive, covering hospitalization, surgery, maternity. I can say to the young women entertainers, it covers maternity. It covers major medical and overseas non-emergency and overseas emergency medical care. So, if you're traveling overseas, if you're on tour and you had an accident or you get ill, you will get coverage as well.
The Christiana Tax Office in Manchester is expected to open by the end of March 2025. Commissioner General of Tax Administration Jamaica, Ainsley Powell, gave the update this week, explaining that its opening had been delayed by logistics and supply issues.
We should have opened in the last month, but we're looking at hopefully before the end of the fiscal year.
Mr. Powell was addressing TAJ's 10th anniversary tax forum held on Wednesday at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Work on the new Christiana Tax Office building began in January 2023, and approximately $441.7 million is earmarked in the 2024-2025 estimates of expenditure for its completion. During the tax forum, TAJ's Commissioner General also gave an update on other physical upgrades, sharing that the Morant Bay tax office in St. Mary would be opened shortly. In the meantime, approval has been received from the St. James Municipal Corporation to move forward with improving the Montego Bay Revenue Service Center.
We have the Mandeville Revenue Service Center, for which we got approval to go ahead from the cabinet, and we'll be full speed ahead on that one.
And finally, the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, is raising awareness about the potential health and environmental risks associated with sunscreens containing oxybenzone or benzophenone 3. It's a common ingredient in many sun protection products. According to Environmental Officer at NEPA, Tamara Miles, while sunscreens are vital in reducing the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiation, certain chemical ingredients, particularly oxybenzone, can pose significant health and environmental concerns. She explains that oxybenzone-based sunscreens have been linked to various health issues, including long-term accumulation in the body, vitamin D deficiency, cancer risks, and reproductive complications. On the environmental side, it poses serious threats to marine ecosystems by contributing to coral bleaching and weakening coral resilience through long-term exposure. NEPA's environmental officer is recommending zinc oxide-based sunscreens as a safer alternative, since these do not penetrate the outer layers of healthy skin, significantly reducing the risk of absorption into the body. Members of the public are being urged to adopt safer sunscreen practices and make informed decisions that prioritize both human health and environmental sustainability. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Attitude is something which productivity will require, and a good attitude. So these are conversations which are difficult. Because how do you instill a good attitude? It starts by the kinds of activities that you engage your children in at an early age. What are we teaching our children even in our own homes? How do they see us reacting to challenges? How do they hear us addressing issues? That's what's going to shape their attitude and their mindset.
Thank you for staying with us. For some, reading can feel overwhelming, but the key is to make it enjoyable and accessible, rather than a chore or obligation. In our next feature, we explore ways parents can ignite a love for reading in their children from an early age.
What are you doing, young man? Didn't I tell you to go do your homework? Get up and go now.
If no one could read, I wouldn't have to do any homework.
There was no teachers or schools. Because no one could ever read, everything was different. Everyone was trying to figure out what was going on. Only little nosy supposing knew exactly what was wrong. They asked the maybe family that lived next door, but they couldn't really tell. No one knew for sure. And surprisingly, it was even a mystery for the definitely family. Everyone tried to remember, but it was no good. Because no one could ever read, they forgot all they had learned from books. It is The Adventures of Nosy Supposy, and it is to be a series. The first one is Suppose No One Could Read. So what has happened is that because of how my sons were, they asked a lot of questions all the time. My mom used to say a thing to me, suppose your nose was a doorpost where you put the inches. So I came up with the whole nosy thing out of that, them being a little curious all the time. So I said, and then they would come with the supposing. But mommy, suppose. So I said, don't be a little nosy supposy. So the name came out of that, really. So I just decided to go with The Adventures so that I could teach little things, little lessons out of life lessons, out of Nosy Supposy's adventures. And one point that I noted recently that really helps for parents and children to bond when we no longer read to our children. And it is so important that we do, because it creates that time of bonding between parent and child that is so valuable. And we can't say enough how valuable it is.
Shafdan, wake up. You did your homework yet? Get up, get the book, let us go.
Can be little things. Talk to them in story form. You know, bring up things that will kind of stimulate them wanting to know more. Show them books with pictures too, because we have to know that it is important for them to have pictures to look at, bright colors that will stimulate their mind and their eyes and fascinate them.
In a world where the joy of reading can open countless doors, The Adventures of Nosy Supposy serves as a reminder of the profound impact literacy can have on our lives and the importance of nurturing a love for reading in the next generation.
Data from the National Road Safety Council shows that 90% of motorcyclists who die on our roads were not wearing a helmet. Don't let that be you. Wearing a helmet could save you and your pillion's life. In the event of a crash, the helmet can protect you against severe head injuries. Wearing a helmet can also help to reduce wind noise and light rays while driving. Let's work to reduce the carnage on our roads. Wear a helmet, ride safely.
I remember back in the day, one of the most iconic tracks I ever heard was World Dance. I want new dance, where Beenie fine again, around the street and the lane, around the bend. It was catchy and truly captured the vibe of its time. World Dance was the name and the title, and it definitely made its mark. Our next feature will add a new dimension to the musical career of the artist.
My memorable moment of Mandela Boo, you know. No, seriously, like, most memorable moment, not telling a lie.
Zaka, anything you see me, I do that on me business. And I ever somebody when I know you watch at your business. At the same time, you broke that so nobody no business. But as you make a meal, how the enemy business. So that's why I'm in the business, when I do funky business. From I got tell all the doctor when they start out the business. For over 30 years, I'm still the king in the business. I know I will fit tell them I feed them business.
Now, the renowned king of the dancehall, Moses Beenie Man Davis, was like most artists at the beginning of their career, young, full of talent and eager, possibly not knowing when to choose their moment. The latter is important, as Beenie Man will tell you, it is what helped to shape the entertainer he is today. It was the summer of 1991 when Nelson Mandela visited Jamaica. The revered statesman was just freed and the world was looking on. Beenie Man, about 18 years old at the time, was a budding artist, eager to show what he was made of. On stage, he got his moment to show the enormous gathering his talent, so he went up and sang.
Hey, green, I'm over there, so where you borrow.
The local audience who turned out to see the respected leader were mostly not in the mood for the young artist's shenanigans. What followed was a resounding... It was a make or break moment for the then rising star, who was staggered by the audience's reaction when in another setting the song was well received. He would have to learn that timing is everything.
But I get realized now, the whole lot of people them around behind Mandela from morning and then you come say, hey, green, I'm over this. I them here show you what points. Yeah, but why is that the most memorable in my career? Because that is where I get the motivation from to become the artist that I am today.
And what an artist he became. His persistence and the ability to brush off negativity would pay off.
Everybody was talking about the boot like it was the biggest thing that happened, you know. So when we realized the boo wear off 9-day talk, people look for tune, we do a song in name. Hey, them I watch you. Hey, them and the song just got so whoop. And me do matey and a good seat and it went to #1. So that's when me realized I can make a difference and make an impact.
And the hits came one after the other.
Marlena go on down. Me have no got nothing to put on down. Dig up a boy for your school uniform. We make me for 51 star. Oh, you so full of you take what you so clever. You still have to make a you design for me the dancer. If for me alone I would have turned her in. Sim Simma, who got the keys to my bimmer? Who am I? The girls them sugar.
But still, no worthwhile journey is without its challenges. For Beenie, A lot of this would come from his musical peers.
I've get disrespected from so many artists. It's not because I'm an idiot or I'm a fool or somebody can drape me up or what. It's because my greatness. See, for building lyrics on the spot, I don't care who you are, I don't care how big he is. From we in a competition, because I'm coming from sound system days. From sound a clash with sound, DJ a clash against DJ.
He recalls his biggest rivalry being with another dancehall legend, Bounty Killer.
Yeah, it's the longest one because rivalry, back in the days just one night, you dead tonight and tomorrow night me and your friend. You know, but there's no friendship there and there was no love lost there. It was just, you know, agony. And me started out as a DJ for the females, you know, and then Bounty Killer get me into that side after the rude boy side.
The decades-running lyrical battle between the two has become legendary. Thankfully today they are both older and wiser and have put away the rivalry for something greater.
Bounty Killer becomes my brother right now.
There has even been a collaboration with the two, which if you were a fan of either in the early years, you probably didn't see it coming.
Legendary, 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 come on, legendary. With him a black belt, man done that already. We clean and we out, and we swag legendary.
Apart from Bounty Killer, this king has great respect for some of our dancehall royalties.
Artists like Popcorn, he might do a good job, you know. Rate 5 Cartel, and Movado. I do know, yeah, man.
And a few who are making a good case for future induction.
Like Skank, I like seeing him on stage. I'm madman when them jump on the stage, it's a different thing. I like Joshy, because I know him from my youth. And I never expect him to become that great of an artist. I know say him can do look engineering thing and something, but I never know say him have that name, you know. Because you're not going to know where I'm at until him push out. And he really did push out and he really did impress me.
Wonderful words from one of the greatest to ever do it. Counting his years as a mere toddler, Beenie has been doing this for over 40 years, and the doctor is not done with his patients just yet. Hard to believe when you think his whole motivation came from a sound that has finished so many careers before they began. But not Beenie Man. It was the sound that motivated him to work harder and to be better. If you ask him, without it,
I want to work that hard to be this person that I am today. I want to become the doctor, I want to become the king of the dancehall, I want to get all of these achievements that I, you know, so I think that was my motivation, that was the injection that I need.
An injection that birthed 18 studio albums and counting.
My body of work, it proven, you know, bring out the people and bring the energy in the people and the people come out to see exactly what them expected to get a great performance. And whether it's soundtrack or whether it's band or whether it's a rubber band or whether pan is knocking, the vibes remain the same. Whether it's 10 people or 10,000 people, the vibes remain the same. This is what I do.
See ya now we do it again. One more time. Billboard we reach again. One more time. Grammy we see it again. One more time. DJ at the here again.
As mentioned earlier, we're in Youth Month, and it's a great time to discuss adoption as a way to provide a new path for a young person who may not have had a promising one. There are many reasons to adopt, and our next feature will highlight the factors, motivations, and the process of adoption. Please take a moment to watch.
Thank you for your interest in adoption in Jamaica. Please download the adoption guidelines below, which are intended to assist you with the completion of your application form. You are required to complete and enclose the following documents: application forms, child's medical forms, adult's medical forms, any other information relevant to your case, such as affidavits, birth certificates, death certificates, and court orders. That's the beginning of your adoption process. You're now on your way to becoming a child's legal guardian.
Adoption is a very special process. It's a very significant step that persons take in their lives, and it is very rewarding. And I would implore persons who are interested in adopting to go for it. And as I said before, go for it with an open mind. People misconceive adoption because the stigma that is attached to it, in that persons, I don't know if maybe it is a cultural thing, but persons don't willingly talk about adoption. It's mostly a secret, and you find that people go away with the wrong ideas, in that persons believe that maybe the process is too long, maybe they believe that we should not have such a rigorous process, but you have to understand it's a life commitment, and you want to ensure that a child being adopted is being placed in the best possible placement. Close adoptions are adoptions that are basically done in Jamaica now, in that no information is given to either the adopters about the biological parents, and the biological parents don't know about the adoptive parents. Persons who are allowed to adopt children in Jamaica are single male, female, couples, persons over 25 years. If you are a relative, you have to be 18 years and over. The Adoption Board is a body established in the Act that has to give approval for all adoption applications before they can go to the court for finalization. The Adoption Board is the only agency that is authorized to approve adoption cases. So there's no other agency that has that authority.
Let adoption work for you. Visit the Child Protection and Family Services Agency website at childprotection.gov.jm or visit the agency at 48 Duke Street or any of the parish's offices island-wide to learn how you can start the process.
Driving on Jamaican roads can be an adventure, a test of patience, and a unique experience all rolled into one. Recently, JIS took to the streets of Montego Bay to discover some of the biggest pet peeves drivers face on the road.
What I hate the most are the potholes on the road.
And also some aggressive females that's on the road that doesn't give blights whenever you're trying to maneuver through the busy street. You know what I mean? And also some of these taxi operators who just pull over at any time without using their turn signals.
Sometimes a driver behind you when as the light change.
I can't understand why we have to speed so much. I can't understand why we have to behave as if we are the only ones on the road.
Whenever the light changes from green, yellow, red, for about 30 seconds, everybody's still going to the red light like it's still on green. And it causes long lines with traffic, and it's absolutely dangerous.
Greatness is in your bones.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a butcher with no bridges. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game.
We are looking for great things this season, and I know you believe it within your very core. And so we have committed to continue the support behind you and in front of you and beside you, so that you can excel and you can do well and you can be your best self.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a butcher with no bridges. I'm invincible. Yeah, I win every single game.
We've reached the end of our program. Get a recap of everything you saw here and more on our website, gis.gov.jm. I'm Audrey Williams. Bye for now.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.